Hello ladies and gentlemen, this time let's look at a brand new kit from NuNu. This is not a update parts re-release. This one is a completely new tooling. Okay, this is the brand new BMW M8 GTE, the 2019 Daytona winner, and BMW is a very popular brand in the Far East, and they are really famous for their racing cars. And we can see the box art is it's a very nice illustration of the car itself with the livery that's in the 2019 Daytona race. And on the side, as usual, we have two illustrations of the build-up kits, some warning. On the box side, there is the same illustration as the cover, and also the title of the model, and also the logo of the company. And then we have the list of recommended paint, some remarks about the kit itself, and also the address and the QR code of the companies. And this side of the box is exactly the same as the other side. So let's look at the content of the box. Okay, first of all, we have the car body, and then we have a sprue of clear parts. And this bag contains of chrome parts, the wheels, and some detailing up parts of the car, tires. And in this bag we have three giant sprues. One is the driver's compartment with the roll cage, and also the rear spoiler, the side spoiler, and then some parts of the suspension. And then we have the bottom tray of the car, the door panels, the instrument panels, part of the front suspension, and then some air ducts, and then in there's a sprue with some detail up parts. And of course we have the decal, and then the instruction. Okay, let's look at the instruction first. As usual, the cover will feature the illustration of the box cover, the name of the model, company logo, a small description of the car itself, and then some points to be aware of before assembling of the kit in Japanese English. Okay, in the inside cover we have the recommended list of model paints to use, and again they recommend using of Mr. Colors lacquer and also the acrylic from Mr. Color. And then a short description of how to apply decals, some icons or symbol for different types of assembling steps. And then we start with stage 1, the assembly of the front suspension and also the rear suspension, and some of the front radiator, and also the front brakes. And then step 2, we have the assembly of the rear brakes, and also the completion of the rear suspension with the rear driving shafts. And step 3 is the instruction on painting the driver's compartment, installation of the driver's seats, and some other detailing parts. And then step 4 is the assembly of the instrument panels. And then step 5 is the assembly of the roll cage, and also installation of the roll cage, the door panels, and the instrument panels onto the driver's compartment. Step 6 is installation of the driver's compartment onto the bottom tray. And here we also assemble the air duct. In step 7 we assemble the wheels. In step 8 we assemble the side spoiler and also the rear bumper onto the body. In step 9 we install the front light housing and also the parts for the front air intakes and the exhaust on the side of the car. Step 10 we have the assembly of the front lighting housings, and also the kidney grille and part of the radiator and cooling system. Step 11, we start with decaling of the windows and the windshield, and then followed by installation of the parts. Step 12 is adding all the detailing up parts onto the body. Then followed by assembly of the rear wing and also the clear parts for the tail light. Here we have a template for cutting out the mesh for the front grille. And then we come to step 14, which is the installation of some of the antennas, and then also the final assembly of the car body onto the bottom tray. And then step 15 is actually the completion of step 14. It's sort of a picture to fill in the void. And then lastly, we come to the instruction placement of the decal. And there are two cars, number 24 and number 25. And I think the difference is the red panel and the blue panel. They are sort of swapped with one another between the two cars. And then finally, we have the sprues and parts list. The instruction is very clear, and each step is clearly illustrated. So I don't think there should be any problem with assembling of the kit. Okay, to start, let's look at the body. The molding is very nice, and the details are very sharp. This time the body is polished, so it looks really smooth and with a bit of shine. So for kids who don't want to paint the car, can just leave it as it is. And the parting line is located in the most invisible area, other than this in this front here. That's the parting line there. And then on the side of the front of the car, this is the parting line. Other than that, the parting line is pretty much hide away. And the shape of the body is very nice. It's very accurate. And so also you look at the top of the body. The shape is very nice and accurate. Okay. And then this bag contains 3 large sprue, and let's look at them one by one. First of all is sprue B. We have the driver's compartment, the rear bumper or the spoiler, and then the front suspension. I suppose this is the front suspension, maybe it's the rear suspension, I'm not sure. And then a couple of parts for the front hood, and the rest are the parts for the roll cage. We can see the details of the parts are very nice. The molding is very sharp again, and the details inside the driver's compartment, it's done nicely. We have all the electronics inside the driver's compartment. And then it's part of the suspension arms. And these are the rear spoiler, the side spoiler, or the rear bumper. And then the side of the roll cage, 2 sides, both sides. And then this large sprue contains of the bottom tray, the driver's seats, an air duct, the door panels, and also the instrument panel, and also part of the suspension. Let's look at the parts closely. Okay, here are the close-up of the parts. This is the racing seats. You can see that's a hole there. That's not an ejection pin mark. There's no ejection pin mark on this seat, except at the back. But I think you can sand it smooth quite easily. And then we have the door panels. And you can see the details on the door panels are nicely done. And then on the other side is the part of the instrument panel. and then part of the suspension arms. And then this sprue contains a lot of detailed up parts. Sprue C. This is the exhaust. Though it's not the complete exhaust, but I think it'll look very nice after assembly. Here are the gas pedal. I think this is the, yeah, that's the front of it. And the steering wheel. F1 type steering wheel. Antenna. Shock absorbers. The rear wheel mirrors. And some other details on the car bodies. The brake disc. And then the upright, I think that's the uprights. And then some of the mesh part for the radiators or the cooling system. And then other smaller parts that make up the whole instrument panels. Some air ducts, steering rod, and the rear driving shafts. Again, molding is very nice. And then we come to this smaller sprue of parts. And these are the parts for the kidney grill. I don't know whether you can still call them kidney grill these days, because it's definitely not kidney shape. And then also the wheel well cover with the suspension arm. The rear wing with the support and the side wing, and these are the front cooling system. Then we come to the wheels. The wheels are very nice, and also I think the spokes is not too thick. Looks really in scale. So the wheels are nice. And then we come to the chrome parts. The chrome part mainly are the front and rear light housings. And of course a couple of pieces for the rear wing mirrors. And then we have a bag of tires. I'm not going to take them out because it's a really simple tires. It's a slick tires. And then with you know, very smooth sidewalls. Look at the shape of the tire. Again, you know, the negative camber has been featured in this in the molding of these tires. So after you assemble the car, if you put it in the right position, you can see the negative camber of the wheels of this particular car. And then we have some poly caps for the wheels to spin, and then a wire mesh. Well, when you see I bring out the cutting mat, you know it's time to look at the clear parts. And you can see the clear parts are very clear, with very little distortion, other than the edges of the front windshield. Definitely a difficult area, but other than that, the rest of the area is very clear and very smooth. And then we come to the cover of the lights. Because of the complex shape, it's difficult to get it very clear. But anyways, those are headlights, so you don't need to be that sharp and clear. And then side window. And then the rear windshield. And then lastly, we come to the decals. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets of decals. And the first one is the largest sheet, and it contains mostly the color pattern on the car. And then some other details. Now we can see the printing of the decal is very sharp and clear as usual, and the registration is very good, and the colors are very sharp and very bright. And the fine prints are readable, so it's very nice and sharp. Another piece contains of the black area of the car. Again, very sharp and clear. And the third piece contains mostly of different sponsors' logos and the safety belts and some of the details on the car bodies. And this one is of multicolor printing, and again the registration is very good. You don't see any spillover or off registration printing. And then lastly, we have the small piece, which is the three-dimensional printing, or the printing with gradation. Contains of the M Motorsport logos, and the gradation is more obvious when I hold it towards the light. There you have it, the brand new BMW M8 GTE from NuNu. It's a beautiful kit. The detail is very good, the molding is good, and the decal is good. So if you are a BMW fan, this is a must. So go and get it. But of course, other than the kit itself, we also have the detailer parts. Now again, the detailer parts is sold separately, and make sure you get it together with the kit itself. And then we'll look at the detailer parts more closely. And the set contains one large piece of photo etch, machine part for the antenna. And then this small bag contains of one thick sheet of photo etch, one piece of metal foil, a template for the metal foil, a small piece of color decal for the steering wheel and also the dashboard, and then a number of sheets of carbon fiber decals. 1 sheet, 2 sheets, 3 sheets, 4 sheets of carbon fibers. And then of course the instruction. And here are all the contents inside the detailer parts. So let's look at the instruction first. As usual, it starts with some sort of generic introduction to how to assemble the detailer parts. And then step 1, we have the location of different carbon fiber decals on the bottom tray. And then we come to the placements of some of the photo etch parts, such as the cooling system and also the brake discs. And then the assembly of the safety belt and the belt buckles. And then more instruction about the position of the carbon fiber and also the metal stickers. Here are the decals for the steering wheels and also the dashboard. More carbon fiber for the door panels, and then the carbon fiber for the air duct, and the photo etch mesh for the car body, decals for the headlights, and also the kidney grille, photo etch parts for the radiator or oil cooler, whatever, for the windshield, and then carbon fiber for the windows. Step 12 include the assembly of the photo etch windshield wipers, and also placement of some of the carbon fiber decals. and then the photo etch parts that build up the rear wings, and the wire mesh for the front of the car, and then lastly the antenna. Okay, the photo etch parts as usual are sharp and crisp, and the fret is protected by plastic stickers on both sides, so even the minute piece stay intact. Second piece of photo etch parts is slightly thicker than the first fret, and it mainly composed of the support and also the side wings of the rear wing. And then we have textured metal stickers, and then the black ribbon for the safety belt, and here's the color decal for the steering wheel and also the dashboard. And then we come to the carbon fiber decal set. And then lastly, we have the turned metal parts for the antenna. There you have it, the BMW M8 GTE 2019 Daytona winner with its detail-up parts. I must say the detail-up parts, it's a must for this kit, because just the carbon fiber decal set, it's worth the price. So make sure you get this together with the kit. Now both the kits and the detail-up sets are available for pre-order at hobbyeasy.com. And of course soon will be available from all your dealers around the world. So once again, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye bye.